Victor Daniel here from Handball Social. We're here today with Jason Healy. Jason Healy's from Floral Park. He's been playing handball for many, many years. He's a veteran. He also has created the Heavy Hitters Tournament, which is pretty much held every year. How long have you been doing the tournaments for?
We started in 2007, I believe, 2006, 2007. Went about 6 years. Then we took about 2 years off just to deal with some personal things, but we got back into it last year.
Okay. Who helps you organize it?
A friend of mine, Sammy, he started out with me. We started Heavy Hitters together, but then he kind of fell out of the game, fell out of hosting for a while, and then Gustavo from my park started helping me out. And then Miguel from my park started helping me out. So, I mean, everyone from the park kind of lends their helping hand, which is good because we're all family at Braddock Park.
Gotcha. That's your home park?
Braddock Park, yeah.
And when did you start playing handball?
My brothers were playing when I was like 8 or 9. We used to play at my elementary school, and they were always playing, and I'm like...
So you started when you were 8 and 9?
Maybe 10 was when I first started out.
Wow. And was that Braddock Park as well?
No, that was PS 115, a school 5 blocks away from my house.
And that's also in Floral Park?
That's in Floral Park, yeah. That's in Floral Park, yeah.
And how many brothers do you have?
I got 3 older brothers. They all played, and I obviously, like, every little brother wants to be like their older brother, so I started playing with them, started trying to keep up with them, and eventually I got better than them, which kind of pissed them off a little bit. And, no one wants to see their little brother beat them, but I started to kick their ass, so I was like, all right, looks like I'm the best brother out of all you guys, so.
So how old are you right now?
I am 31 right now.
So you've been playing for like 20 plus years.
Don't remind me. Yeah, I should have been an A player by then, but no, I mean, I took some time off. You know, I went away to college, Buffalo, which is where the Buffalo J came in. So, kind of took some time off there. But you know, on and off, I played. I never consistently played all the time. Like, I mean, these guys can play every day, all day long, and in 4 or 5 years, they're top Bs. 6 years, maybe they're A players. You know.
Right. But you are doing something good for the sport because you're throwing these tournaments, which you said have been doing good for the last on and off for 10 years.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah. I had some pretty solid events. I had a few good sponsors. WPH was a sponsor of mine a couple of years ago.
Wow.
When they first got into big ball. And Echelon, we teamed up for a year. We had some good events. We had some good tournaments, actually. They had some good exhibition matches. That was what they wanted. They wanted some big exhibition matches.
Gotcha.
So I set those up for everybody.
That's great.
Had some good T-shirts I was selling. The I Live For This T-shirts. I'm sure you've seen those around. Those
Yes.
were very, very popular all over the world. Some guys went to Vegas, took them. Some guys went to Ireland, Colombia. Herman got these nice little jumpsuits. I Live For This. So that was promoted all over the sport.
So your brothers, do they play anymore?
No, not at all.
They're done.
They're done, yeah.
And you play regularly?
I mean, I play, yeah. A lot of the time I play in the summertime, you know, when I can, and when I have time off from work. Or I play racquetball. I play 4-wall now, which is a new thing. A lot of guys are playing 4-wall. Like
4-wall handball.
4-wall handball. And 4-wall racquetball, but no one really plays 4-wall racquetball like I do. So I play a lot of 4-wall handball. Changes the game, you know, evolves the game into different aspects of the game.
Do you feel like it gets your 1-wall game better?
I wouldn't say better. I say it kind of hones it, you know, so you stay in shape. Like, no one really plays 4-wall in the summertime just because you want to be outside all day.
Yeah.
But in the winter, I'm not trying to go to A1 or Zariga every day, spend $10, $15 a day.
Yeah.
So LA Fitness, we have our membership there, so we go there, you know, just play our games.
Yeah, there's a good crew of them.
Yeah, we got good guys there. We play 1-wall in there sometimes. We play 4-wall. You know.
No, you're a good player. I've seen you play. You definitely have the wisdom there. You know, you're a smart player. What did you set a date for your heavy hitters?
Not yet. Actually, just recently, Angel Warbe, the guy that throws the bigger the better 6-foot trophies, he actually reached out to me to team up with one tournament. So I'm going to team up with him June 8th for that, the 6-foot trophies.
June 8th, 2019.
2019.
And that is going to be
a B doubles.
A B doubles tournament. Where is it going to be? Do you know?
We're doing it at Braddock Park.
Oh, you're doing it at Braddock. Braddock Park has great courts.
It's 6 courts. I'd say they're the nicest courts. I'm not trying to brag, but those are the nicest courts in the city.
You know I like palming on, but you're right. You got 6 courts. They're long. There's enough places to film, which is a big challenge when like say for example Edison. I love Edison. I played in Edison for over 10 years, but it's very hard to film.
Of course. Yeah.
And to watch a game, it's hard to watch it because, you know, like it's limited courts and, you know, it's just tight space.
And the crowd is like right on top. You have to, it's almost impossible. Unless you're there in the morning for King of the Courts, you're not seeing any of those games unless you're there first thing in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
The good thing about that park is it's enclosed. So everybody's right there. You know, when I'm doing tournaments at Braddock, I'm running around, I'm looking for players. These guys, you know, they need to stay where they belong.
Right,
That's one of my problems. A lot of these guys, they run around, they want to do this, they want to do that. I'm like, if I need your game on right now, there's a reason, because daylight is very limited.
Yeah, daylight is limited when you're throwing tournaments outside.
It's tough, man.
And you got to get people there early.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things. So, do you mostly work with the Bs, or do you have like ABs, or?
Well, when I first started out, I did a BC, which was my first tournament. We actually had 48 teams for a BC.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
What year was that?
I think that was 2008.
That was labeled heavy hitters?
That was heavy hitters, yeah. That was our first tournament.
Okay.
But the problem now is so many players think I'm a C. They want to, like, not sandbag, but they just want to undermine their skills and try and...
Well, no one's running around with B cards, so there's a lot of gray matter there, you know?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things. That's why I stopped doing C tournaments, because I don't think they're C players anymore.
Yeah.
C players are beginners. You start out, you hit the ball, you don't have a left or a right, whatever your strong hand is. You don't have an opposite. You don't know the game. You know the game. You're in tournaments. You're playing money games. You're not a C anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with the game now. People want to sandbag all these C tournaments for no reason.
Then you got old timers come into these tournaments that you don't know them, and they're like super ringers, and they should have been like an A in their time.
Of course, yeah.
And then they'll like wipe a C tournament and take all the the purse money.
I've seen top B players sneak into C tournaments. Oh, I'm playing with a girl. Or I'm playing with a kid. I'm like, come on. Like my friend Gustavo, he used to play with this 13-year-old kid. Like, bro, you're not a C. He's not even a C. Just because he's 13 doesn't mean he's a C. The kid's got skills of a B player.
So do you think that they should start giving out like B cards?
I don't think, because there's going to be 1,000 B cards given out. You know, I think all the hosts that throw tournaments, they know the players. For the most part, you know, if you're
sometimes you get these people that come from different areas, though, and you're like, and the guy's like, he's got other people vouching for them. And then you get some people that are like, look at this video of this dude. This guy said he's a C? How is he a C?
Yep. No, you can tell. A lot of these guys, they want their boys to win. But I remember, I'm not trying to say I ratted someone out, but a kid won, he got to the finals of my B doubles. 2 weeks later, he's playing in a C singles. Tony Roberts was throwing the tournament at the time. Actually, he used to throw some really good tournaments.
Yeah.
Tony Roberts.
And then we've had the pleasure of him playing in our park at Palmanat.
Yep.
He was a steady player, but he moves around.
Yeah. No, he was a great host. He gave out all the money, paid 1 through 8. But I go to him, I said, Tony, this kid was in my B doubles last week finals, and now he's in your C singles. So things like that, it shouldn't piss me off, but it does. It's like, it's none of my business, but at the same time, if you got C players, legit C players who want to shine, who want to get to a tournament, win a tournament, they don't have the chance to because these other guys, they want to sandbag, and I just don't think that's right. So that's why I want to try and get rid of the C division completely and just be easing up, and that's about it.
Gotcha. So what other parks have you played at in your time? Which ones do you like? Which ones do you dislike?
Funny enough, everyone loves West 4th. I can't stand it, man. Those shadows, they throw me off. The crowd is right on top of you.
The trees, right? The tree shadows?
The tree shadows. It's crazy. Like, these guys, they're immune to it.
They're used to it. They're used to it.
They get immune to it. But you can't say you don't like West 4th. That's legendary. They call it the Cage.
Yeah.
I think that's like a legendary park. I went there when I was 14 years old. I saw Fred, old man Fred. He called me out in the singles game. Oh, I'm 3 times their age. Of course, you can beat me. Pops me up, hustles me. I'm like, to this day, I still remind him of that. I'm like, you got me 15 years ago. Like, yeah, but what are you gonna do? So
some people do that for mainstream income. Of
course, yeah.
And they use their skills and they make their money.
They do.
And they do it like a full time, like a. Timbo is a full-time player.
No, he does. I'm not sure.
Buddy used to do it too.
Buddy was good.
Buddy, I know him very well. told me it's what he did for a living, which is a great thing. Not too many people could say they did that for a career.
If you're on top, like I spoke to Rookie, he told me over the course of maybe 10, 20 years, he made about $400,000 playing handball, which it sounds like a lot, but on average, it's not that much, but that's one guy.
I mean, and think about how much they expend in energy and time and physical resources
and the Florida travel expenses. Those are those big Florida tournaments back in the day. $15,000. Him and Rookie, Henry.
Yeah,
they won that. So over the course of 20 years, $400,000
in tournament.
Yeah, tournaments, 20 games. He'll play someone $1,000 a game. He played someone with the chair in his hand.
I saw him play someone with a chair in his hand. I was like, wow, so intimidating. And he's just like running around with a chair in his hand, playing with his opposite hand, no less. He's running around with it in his right hand. His right hand, he had the chair.
Yep.
I definitely seen some like players come up in the ranks now. What players do you feel like have been, getting to that place where they might get their A card now?
The top Bs right now? I mean, I see the top Bs coming out like the two Coreys from Long Island, David Velez, obviously, who did damage in King of the Courts.
Yeah.
You got guys like Lefty Carey, who've been a B for a while. Guys like, who else? There's a lot of top Bs.
What about like Chulo?
Chulo. Believe it or not, Chulo.
Jomar.
106 pounds, but he can hit the ball.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys out there.
From Philly, he's up there. He's class act. The guy won my B doubles. It was one of the most humble players I've met in the last 5 years. Never argued.
Very low key. I see this.
Very, very calm throughout the entire day. Thank you at the end. Very appreciative. And you see the kid winning singles, doubles. He's from Philly, but he comes here. He travels 2.5 hours to play in tournaments, so he's got a lot of potential.
I've seen him even at Zuriga on like Monday nights.
Exactly.
Which is, I have relatives in PA. It could take you like 3 hours to get there.
And then they throw a tournament, and 2 of our guys show up. It's like the support is. You would like to think it goes both ways.
Have you been to Philly?
Well, not for handball, but I've been to Philly. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious. I've never been there, and there's a lot of guys coming out of that area. I'm curious to know how many courts there are out there. There's a lot of available courts for like tournaments, upcoming tournaments.
There's not that many, and they're not in great condition. Wally does a great job promoting Philly because he's always trying to get the community involved, get the young players involved. But other than that, there's not many people out there. Like here, we have a lot of people trying to help the sport. Yeah, I'm not saying it's just Wally, but Wally's one of the big contributors in Philly to help the game out there. But
I see Florida. It looks like it's expanding and expanding.
Definitely.
Because in the winter, I mean, unless you have your indoor tournaments, which are all possibilities here, I feel like Florida has great weather, like Hollywood and
Flamingo's got a good park.
Yeah,
that's a classic one over there.
Where they play the King of the Courts in Florida. What was that park?
Yeah.
That was a good park.
Yeah,
with the fences and the lighting,
TV down there. He's something else there.
Yeah,
something else.
I mean, but you got to hand it to him because if it wasn't for people like that are like recording games and televising these games, we wouldn't be able to see them.
Of course, yeah, that's true. And and Crazy Tony, he's down there now. So Warrior Will, who records his games up here.
Yeah,
it's amazing what Facebook.
I like Warrior Will segments. They're very funny, and he brings a very he says I'm a porter, but this is my job. This is what I do at night. He's the Warrior. I love it. It's a fun segment that he has. Where do you see the sport going in the future?
Honestly, I talk about this a lot with people. Everyone's like, it should go to the Olympics, it should go far, but excuse me, it's hard to say that because it's a street sport. Obviously, there's no sugarcoating around it. It's a street sport. A lot of these guys, they're from the streets. They're doing this, support themselves. They're not the classiest of players. The classiest of I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some guys out there that are great people, great all around people. But a few bad seeds can really, really ruin what's going on for for the whole community. And if, a big time promoter, a big time sponsor, he comes to a tournament and he sees kids smoking, drinking, he's not going to want to put his money up because he sees the influence that.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
there are people that do that. At the end of the day, I grew up with the sport in my neighborhood, and people are drinking, smoking, and stuff. But the best players, you saw that they avoided that.
Of course, yeah.
Because it hurt their game, and their game to them. Some of these guys are playing for money all the time.
Yeah.
And and for tournaments and stuff like that. So, I feel that you're right about that. I think that this sport is growing, like, because of social media.
Oh, Facebook helps so much.
Because if you even look back into, I started playing handball in the late 70s. There was no people filming stuff like there is today. And when you want to see legends of my time, it's really hard. People running around with VHS recorders with the little actual cartridge in the VHS. Yeah. And it's just like, hey, you got games from back in the days in like the late 70s, early 80s. It's just right now, it's so easy to capture all of that.
Yep.
If you want to see, like, I recently saw some stuff about Buddy, and he looked like he had like great games, and I don't know exactly what year that was, but on Facebook.
Yeah.
Now you're looking for those guys where they were in their prime. And like try to compare and see, hey, could this guy's prime match this guy's prime? Like, would a Timbo go up against, like, if you would be able to take his prime year and the other guy's prime year and put a dream match together of, like, their physical abilities? Because back in the days, Rookie was super fast, super slim, super young. When you're young, you're fast, and you're, and Timbo too. And I just, like, you see the top players, like the Buddy Gants, the Joe Durses, all these guys that are been playing for so many years, and you wonder, it's like, hey, who would be the top? Or who would you feel like would be the top if you have people in their primes?
It's so hard to tell. It's a completely different game. The game has evolved so much now. Like,
what do you feel has evolved in the game?
I mean, you look at these, I think Carlos Centeno and Tyrone, the two of them, they put up videos all the time of these old school videos. You watch, these guys had serves, they had strategy, they had shots. Now everyone, like Tyrone says, you just serve hard from the middle.
Mm-hmm.
The game has evolved, and these stiff arm lefts that the guys used to have. Now everyone has these whip lefts and these whip rights, and 3-wall and 4-wall makes the game a little different. So these players are playing different levels of the game. So it's really hard to say, like, who's better prime to prime, Rookie or Buddy, or even, Angel Marquez or Timbo, Gio or Rookie, but prime to prime, it's really hard.
Yeah, I've seen some games where Gio was out of control, like 2008, 2009. I was like, holy cow, getting everything, killing everything. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. But the thing is, right now you say...
Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, like Timbo's in his prime right now, 24, 25. Rookie's past his prime, but Rookie still took him out twice in the last 6 years. So
yeah, I mean, I think it also has to come down with, like, conditioning and how much lean muscle mass you have. The more weight you're carrying around, the slower you're gonna be across the board. So at the end of the day, like, for me, I'm like, could this guy take out this other guy in their prime? And there are some guys you see that are playing in their 50s right now, and you're like, wow, that guy's got some game, and he's hitting the ball hard. He's hitting it, with great accuracy. He's able to get it past his opponent or to a place where he's getting a set up for the next one. It's just... you see these games out there, and you're always wondering, and especially us, we've been both playing for long periods of time. You've seen a lot of different styles, and you know what I mean? Going back to the courts, besides West 4th, what other places have you played at that you think are cool?
Coney Island, just the whole atmosphere down there, the beach, the boardwalk, there's like 12, I think like 15 something courts on there.
Yes.
You see all types, you'll see small ball players, you'll see a girls court, you'll see a mixed court, you'll see paddle ball players, you'll see racket, you'll see everything in that one little area, and then at the end of the day, you go on the beach, take a dip, you're good, you know?
Have you gone there? Have you played there?
Yeah, they used to have the big national tournament, used to be down there. The Buddha tournament, very, very good tournament that Carlos throws every year is down there. And it's just,
yes, I see that tournament. It's a great top players, great prize money. That's one of the top tournaments.
I would say it's the top tournament of the year, doubles-wise. It's the top doubles tournament of the year. Nothing compares to that doubles tournament. Every year he does it.
And there's a lot of top players that show up for that tournament.
Yeah. And people are upset the way he runs it. I remember last year he did something where the top 8 teams from last year automatically got to the top 16, and people were like, that's not fair, that's not fair. But you think about it, you know, you're going to see good games all tournament. You don't want to see blowouts the first round. You want to see good matches. Like every tournament seeded. Professional sports, everything. You get seeded tournaments. You have to award these top players for doing what they do.
Yeah.
So the way he did it, I had no arguments with him.
And plus also there's time crunches that you have to deal with.
Exactly, yeah.
And, you know, and also you want to have great games.
Yeah.
And if you set up the tournament correctly, everybody gets enough breathing room, everybody able to compete, in a way that's like organic and well deserved for people that are the best players. You're right.
They earned it.
They earned it, and they should deserve at least maybe getting a bye or getting a little bit more rest because they're gonna play more games than most people. Most people are gonna get knocked out in the first round. The guys that are not on the top.
Like he said, some guy shows up at 9 o'clock. By 9:30, he plays Timbo and he's out. Like at least give him a chance to play like another team on his level, so he has a chance to expand his day, get a first round win. That says a lot. Just that one win in a tournament, it goes a long way.
Have you gone out to Vegas to any of the tournaments?
I remember the first time they were hosting it, I was invited to go. At the time, I was kind of busy with work, and I had a little gambling problem. So
you stay away from Vegas.
Let me stay away from Vegas right now. So
I see that they have a big tournament every year.
Yeah.
I see that there's good prize money out there. Yeah. They got awards. It seems like there's a big draw because a lot of people start talking about it online.
Yep.
That they're going to Vegas, And also Florida. I see them talking a lot about Florida.
They do 2 big tournaments in Florida. But this year, what they did interesting was they started doing it Florida only. They did King of the Beach.
No, they wouldn't let anybody outside.
It used to be King of the Beach was just a Florida tournament, and King of the Courts was open for anybody. But they changed it this year, so King of the Court. So they want, not that they don't want their New York players coming down, but they wanted to see who was the best in Florida. So they limited it just Florida players, but they still do the New York versus Florida, which is, in my opinion, one of the funnest events to watch. Just because you got our players, our top B players, against their, some of them are A's, but they're still B players down there.
Are they assigning A cards to guys down there?
It's so hard. I don't think so. I mean, obviously there's some players that I think are deserving of A cards if they played here consistently.
Yeah.
But I don't know of an A card per se that Florida awards to their players.
Gotcha. Any organization in Florida, they're not doing it right now.
No.
Gotcha. Have you played in California? Venice Beach?
Yeah, 3-1. Venice Beach, my favorite court.
Me too. Me too. I went to Venice Beach and the guy, I was like, there's one more courts on the other side. He's like, no one plays one more. Filled with sand, gritty. I played a couple of games on one more because this guy kept beating me. I was like, let's do. And then we split games over there. He's like, oh, I was like, I'm not used to this thing here. And this was like 10 years ago. But now when I go there, I'm just playing 3-wall.
Yeah,
and the back of the wall is blown out.
It's huge.
It's huge.
Huge court.
Huge.
The long court.
Some guys you see like 6 people playing on the court.
Yeah.
They do some round robin type stuff. I'm like, wow, a lot of good players there.
Yeah,
a lot of good players there. I don't know if they're giving out cards to these guys, but some of these guys are like serious players.
Yeah, no, you watch guys like Samson and Sal and Chava. These California players, they have a different style.
Super different.
But they even try and play one wall. Like they come out, they play one wall. Like their one wall game is pretty decent. Samson took out some good players in the one wall tournament this past year. I played him in 4-wall with my racket. He beat me with my racket in his hands. I mean,
so he had both his hands to your racket.
Both his hands to my racket.
Wow.
Great competitive game.
And that was a 1-wall.
No, that was 4-wall.
Oh, you played him in 4-wall? And he got you?
His hands are so soft. He knows how to place the ball. He knows what to do with the ball. the guys, I mean, this is their game.
This is
Four-wall and three-wall, that's their game.
Yeah, that's their game. They know the angles. They know how to scoop the ball when it starts dropping off the wall. And I noticed that a lot of one-wall guys now that I'm playing indoors, that's their biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Is taking the ball from the back of the wall and whipping it to the front, or putting it in a spot where it hits multiple walls, which one-wall guys are not used to. Even myself, when I'm going to this sport, I'm like, wow, I feel like such a C player playing the four walls because you're not used to it, and you're like, wow, that ball. In one wall, when the ball's past you, the ball's past you.
Exactly.
You have no concerns for it. And if you play, like myself, 30 plus years with that factor, you're like, now I was like, I got to watch the ball behind me. But you look at it, you're like, I got a second chance. You know what I mean? I got a second chance to make this right. So what do you prefer? Are you preferring, like, now going into four wall? Because I see you play pretty decent.
No, because I picked up four-wall racquetball in college, so I know the walls, I know the ceiling, I know the back walls. It's just a different cardio, It's a different. I do it for the cardio at that point, especially in the winter. You put on that winter weight. You see all these guys.
What do you think about doing maybe a tournament like that?
We've considered. I mean, I know there's a few organizations that have tried. I know the Long Island Open, they try and do a four-wall. But surprisingly, it doesn't get a turnout. Guys will travel 3,000 miles to Vegas to play.
I see that, though. I see the Vegas ones.
But they won't go 50 miles to Long Island to play the Long Island Open. It's just sometimes it makes no sense. But we've been thinking about doing the Staten Island players have a big following for four wall.
Okay.
So our Staten Island LA Fitness, their Staten Island LA Fitness for our New Hyde Park LA Fitness.
How do you think you guys would fare?
Honestly, they got some good players. We got some good players. I haven't seen their players.
Who are your top players on the four wall?
I'd say Iggy's the top four wall player. Josh Milan, the top four wall player. Joseph Gooch is a really good four wall player. These are our gym, and then their gym they have John Purdy, they have Diego, they have John, they have Rob. So they got their players. We got our players. So hopefully we'll give them.
So you're gonna put together a tournament? Maybe?
I wouldn't say a tournament. I'd say like a match, like a best out of 7, like the old high school format, like 3 singles, 4 doubles.
Throw up like prize money.
Yeah, like $500 a team. Like everyone puts up like $50, so $500 a team, and then
that'd be nice.
That's cool,
I'd like to see who wins that.
It'd be a good match.
Who do you like to play with? You play with in doubles, right?
I play with doubles. I like to play this kid Juan. I play with in doubles. I got a partner named Miguel from Braddock. I like to play with.
Four wall.
Four wall, yeah, mostly Juan. And there's another kid, Lefty Juan, who used to be really good four-wall player, one-wall player. His hands just translated right away into the game. He picked up the game right away. So four-wall, I get some good partners here and there, but anybody that's good enough to carry me.
Right. And the heavy hitters, what do you plan on doing? 1 tournament this year or 2?
We'll probably maybe do 3. Like I just said, we teamed up with Angel for the 6-foot, the big B doubles. I'll do an AB. A men's AB, which is always fun. You get to see the top B players, pick up the A players.
Yes.
And I'll probably do a women's tournament as well, a women's AB or a women's.
I was going to ask you about that. How do you see that? What do you is it going to be like open to everybody for women?
Well, what I did last year.
Because I like the women's division. I think it should grow.
It's growing. There's there's a lot of women that want to play. There's a lot of interest, but the problem is. They were begging me for years to throw a tournament. I throw when I get 10 teams. So I'm not going to say, like, all right, I'm going to give up a whole day for a women's tournament. What I'm going to do, I'll do a men's AB, and at the same time, I'll have a women's AB. So let's say the girlfriends come from the men's side, so they can play their own game. So I'm not going to,
I know you want to stay away from the C's, but with the women, maybe it will draw a little bit more.
I don't even know who's a C. I don't even think the women's has a C division.
Well, I mean, just to draw more people, maybe A, B, C people could play. Yeah. I mean, it's. I want the division to grow.
Yeah, of course.
I want the sport to like. There are some women players in our sport that play at Promenade. They're great.
Yeah, they are.
Jenny's an A player.
Yeah.
She's an A player, and she's great.
Phenomenal player.
Yeah, and she plays with us guys.
Yeah.
And beasts us, some of us. So, it's like, holy cow, there is potential there.
Yeah.
Of
course.
And Crystal, great player.
Yeah.
Great player. I mean, there's a lot of great women players.
Yeah, JoJo, one of my favorite female players. I love watching her play. JoJo's a good player. Ruby's a great player. Lefty Jess. So there's some top girls out there. I love watching. Actually, believe it or not, the finals of my women's tournament was 10 times more exciting than the finals of my men's tournament. We had everybody on. I think it was 25-23 was the final.
Wow.
Everybody was on their toes watching every game.
Who was in the final of that one?
It was Afia and Terry P against JoJo and Charismatic Amy. I think Chris, I forgot her name. I know her name on Facebook. But that was the finals, and Afia and Terry P, they won 25-23. Great tournament.
Terry's great. Terry's great. I see her at Zariga. She's a good player and stuff. I mean, that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see some more. And kudos to you for throwing tournaments, because there's some people, they shy away from throwing a tournament because it is more cumbersome, time-wise, follow-up, that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. But no, I like doing it. I've been doing it for a while. It's fun. I like seeing the people come to my park and just seeing my park. Something about that, seeing my park filled with players from all the boroughs. Sometimes filled.
No, I've been attendance of your tournaments. They're great. They're packed. You got the A's, you got the B's, you got a group of people that really like handball, and it's fun, and you got a big, nice park.
Yeah, it's huge. Those courts are nice, and then you got the guys on the other side playing money games. You got the top players from all over the city coming to my park. I just like that feeling, because there's players from my park that don't get the chance to travel to see these other players, to watch these top players play. So these young kids, they get to see the Tabos, the Timbos, the Geos, the rookies. This is the only time they're going to see them, because they're not going to travel to these tournaments. They don't see them on the videos. So to see them come to their park, it's great for them to see that. So that's another reason why I love doing tournaments in that park.
And you do put in a lot of time every week, and I see on Facebook, and I know you have a full-time job. So just want to say thanks, because you're making the sport better.
Yeah.
And you're keeping people, together. And helping people earn money from the sport, which I'd like to eventually see it become like career for not just a select few, but like for many.
Yeah, I mean, promoters can make money. If you're a good promoter, you get some good sponsorships. There's no reason, like I said, Rookie I think was going to be like the ambassador for handball. I remember that was the plan for that. So he can really, he's a charismatic guy.
He's still current. I just saw him play Timbo. This week. And the guy's still taking games. Yeah, most of these guys, they won't go for that type of game where you're playing the top player in the world.
45 plus years old, the guy's, he's obviously not what he was, but he's got some shots. He's got his legs a little bit underneath him.
He's got power still.
He's never going to lose that power.
Yeah, that power, to drive the ball, that's what makes it, I could see, he's going to hit that ball, and no matter how fast that guy is, he's not going to get it at that angle.
Yeah.
And that says something about, people. And it's like we said before, 40s, 50s, these guys are still playing.
I wish if I'm 50 plus years old and I'm still hitting the ball, I'll be happy. I'll be happy if I can stay in shape like these guys do, man.
Well, thanks for taking the time. And we'll look forward to seeing you at your upcoming tournaments.
Sure. Heavy hitters. We'll be having a few events. Check them out on Facebook. And Handball Social will also have on their website, they'll have the dates.
Absolutely. Have a great day, Jay.
Thanks, you too.